How's everybody doing? Kim Coates. Today I'm going off script.
I want to see how closely you are to some of your characters. Tig in Sons of Anarchy loves dogs. Does Kim?
Yeah, Kim does. We all should, Michael, right?
Should.
I mean, animals, they teach us so much. Dogs and horses are my two go-tos, and we lost our dog, Tara. She was with us for 15 years. She's been gone for about 9 years now. Dogs are the best.
Your character Declan in Bad Blood. Are you better under pressure than him? Is Declan better under pressure than you? How would you handle being in the mob?
I couldn't be in the mob because to truly be in the mob, from all the research I did and from some of the I met, you do it your way. You don't apologize for anything. You do it your way. Not that it's not full of love and hugs and bromances and shit like that, but the mob takes no prisoners. And Kim Coates would have a hard time with that. But getting into his skin was something else.
You had mentioned before that you were initially turning it down because it was too psychotic of a role. And then we see. What made you change your mind?
You know, Michael, for me, I'd never really wanted to be a regular on a television show before. I love my arcs. I love my 5 shows, Prison Break, CSI Miami. I love my episodic guest stars and then do my movies and limited series. But when Sons came up, it really was an opportunity because I love to ride so much, and I just knew that the series was going to be very powerful if we got through the early bumpy stages of that show. But when Kurt Sutter showed me a script, it was very early days of what Tig was doing and saying, I had a hard time. I just said that he's too psychotic for me, and I couldn't really wrap my head around 6 years, 7 years, 2 years with just knowing that's the path. And it was Sutter who said to me in confidence, right as close as you are to me now, he said, no, yeah, he is going to be psychotic. Yeah, he'll shoot before he talks, but he's going to end up being a moral compass of the club. He's gonna cry, he's gonna laugh, he's gonna protect animals and people. He's gonna be fully layered, so please come on this ride, and I'm really glad I did.
Look at this, brother. Look at this. This is so wrong.
Was there a specific scene or storyline that was particularly emotionally difficult to film?
A lot, right? I mean, Booney and Theo and Tommy and Ronnie, my boys, and Charlie and Ryan before he was the first big guy to go, and DL, all my boys on that show would talk about. Kurt Sutter couldn't write for everybody all the time, right? It was Charlie, Ron, and Katie, our 3 leads, and then Maggie and the rest of us. But when he did write for Tig, I think I got some really powerfully dramatic, humor, emotional stuff to do, and I'm just really glad that Sutter trusted me with being able to pull it off.
You'd mentioned you like to ride. Was that something you came to love while filming, or did you enjoy riding even before Sons?
No, Michael, yeah. There was only 3 of us who could ride. Before the whole thing started, the leads, it was just Boone, DL, and me who knew how to ride. Everybody else had to learn. And some are still learning. But we got through it, man. Those are Harleys, those are big machines. They're all heavy. And I've been riding since I was 7, 8 years old on the farm up in Canada in Bigger, Saskatchewan with my Uncle Mort. So yeah, I've been riding my whole life. Love motorcycles.
Did you bring anything personal to Tig's character, or was it mostly just everything on the page?
That's a great question. Again, I don't belong to a club. Kim Coates does not belong to a club. So what does Kim Coates do? He researches and hangs and researches. The one thing I brought was my riding skills. The second thing I thought maybe I brought was maybe my comic skills. Other than that, how I stood, how I acted, how I thought was pure, just inner work on that character for me.
What? I hate dolls, man.
Let's go to Bad Blood now. Your character Declan, and the entire series, based off of real events. How much research did you do to kind of get in that world?
Yeah, Mark Montefiore and Michael Conovis and Simon Barry, who wrote it and produced it, and Adeline Rodriguez with Rogers. They had a lot of lawyers early, right? I mean, I got sent the script. I could not, the first pilot of the script of the first season, which was going to be, I think, 6 shows. And I fell in love with it right away, but I thought, wait, this is based on Vito Rizzuto, who really is dead now, obviously, and the mob in Montreal. This is a lot of true events. And with our lawyers, Michael, we were able to tell a lot of graphic truths because they were court documented. They were court documented. So if they're court documented, then you can redo it. But we couldn't, if you notice, we couldn't show Vito's wife because she was still alive.
Sure.
We couldn't show other parts of the family because they're still alive. So they did their due diligence. And so that first season was so good and powerful and Canadian Emmy nominated that they wanted to do a second season, which was totally fictional. That was a total fictional world of what we did with the Italians in the second season. And, you know, that's when I won my Canadian Emmy and the show won and the writer won, Michael Conovis. And then we were going to do a third season and finish it off, but a little thing called COVID came and just kind of put us on the back burner in Netflix. Everyone wanted to move on, so we didn't get to finish it off, but I'm very proud of that show.
And you also produced the show as well.
Yeah.
Why was it important for you to kind of be more hands-on with that series?
Because I wanted to be involved. I wanted to make sure that with the great team that we had, me as being number one on the call sheet, I could be involved and talk about the edit and talk about the music and talk about the incredible creative people that we had on that show. And they gave it to me right away. And so for me to be on the back couch of producing with everybody on the main couches, I got to help and I got to watch, I got to learn. And it was a really good partnership for sure. I mean, talking to Paul Savino on the phone, to have him do it, and Anthony LaPaglia was a very close friend of mine. Andy Garcia turned us down, wanted too much money. And I really thought that Anthony LaPaglia was a better choice, to be perfectly honest with you. He looked more like Vito. He had the weight that Vito had, and Anthony was brilliant. So to be involved as a producer came in handy for them and me as a show.
And before we move on, what's your favorite mob line that you can say right in the camera?
Don't with me. Don't with me. There you go.
Spot on.
Nod your head if you understand and agree to these terms.
Let's go to American Primeval. You are a big history buff.
I am.
You played Brigham Young. How much did you know about Brigham Young before you started researching for the role?
Great question. I knew about the university. I knew about Joseph Smith, who found the gold plates in the hills of Pennsylvania, but very little. I'm not a religious person at all. I'm spiritual. I believe in love and spirituality and clouds and doing nice things with people and being kind and open, and that's what I believe in. But to be offered Brigham Young was unbelievable, Michael. I mean, unbelievable. I read 3 biographies on him plus a novel, and then of course it's factionally dramatized events of the Mountain Meadows massacre. So that really did happen. It was an incredibly horrible 3 days for those Baker Fancher wagon trains that were trying to get to California. They were all slaughtered. It all happened. It's all true. So to be involved in that, and to have Peter Berg, who is just this brilliant director, artist like I've never seen before, behind the camera, in front of, he acted in the movie. I mean, he was just brilliant. So for him to put faith in me, and I started looking at photos of him, Michael, and I kind of, blue eyes, cheekbones, dyed my hair, gained a little bit of weight. I had a blast playing him, but it was really, you were in character the whole time on that set with Shea Wiggum and I. All my scenes are pretty much with Shea. Taylor Kitsch became a close buddy, Betty Gilpin, what a cast. So to be involved in something like that was very special for me, and it was great.
The signature, Mr. Bridger, and we shall be done.
Was it intimidating stepping into the shoes of somebody who's even polarizing in today's world?
Yeah. I mean, sure. I gotta tell you what I've heard. I mean, the reviews have been off the charts for the entire show. Truly. The LDS, Latter-day Saints, are probably not very happy with it because it's it's a very dark representation of that Mormon religion, but it really happened. There's no denying that it did not happen, that it did not happen, so it did. But I do think that some of the comments I've heard is they're pretty surprised at how Brigham Young looked like Brigham Young. So that's a compliment. But you can't have any fear if you're playing Elvis, you're playing Elton John, you're playing a hockey player. You better be ready to stick yourself in his shoes or skates or whatever it is, or hers to pull it off. And don't be afraid to fail. I certainly wasn't afraid to fail.
Describe your character Bruegel and what can we expect from him in the world of Dead City?
Yeah, Eli Journet, who wrote this character with me in mind, and I'm glad I said yes to it, and I had the greatest time with Jeffrey and Lauren and Mikey and Ed, and even Lauren directed an episode herself. I had a blast. Bruegel, you know, when I read it right away, I wanted to play the guy. He's like a dank. He's a dank. He's funny. He's a billionaire who lived in a hole during the zombie apocalypse, and then he came out, got a gang together. I called them my little silk stockings, and they're much more violent than silk stockings. But I just lost it. My wardrobe, he's very into antiques, he's into art. I live in the Met. So I came to New York for a couple of days and lived in the Met for a couple of days, and they actually let me, which was on the down low. But I really did immerse myself in all the art that we have in the Met, because they recomposed some of it on the set where we filmed the whole second season, and it looks spectacular. Wait till you see it.
Are you an art guy that can kind of relate to that?
Yeah. I love Paris is one of my Musée d'Orsay and the Louvre and the Met. My wife used to drag me by the collar to these museums, and now I'm dragging her. I mean, art. We have nothing in this world if we don't have art. That's for sure.
And being in a post-apocalyptic world is kind of different from person-to-person acting. How was it like kind of living in that world with the walkers?
Day in and day out, I just go, talk, open your mouth. What are you trying to say? What do you want to eat? Cut, let's do it again. I'm kidding. Come on, man. I mean, you'd come to set in my car, and before I go to my Winnebago, there'd be these zombies that were getting zombied out on the parking lot, like 50 of them, 60 of them. And I would just walk by them and go, f***ing A, I can't f***ing A. It was a world, like you just said, it was a world that I'd never inhabited before. And I love new things like that. So I didn't watch the original Walking. I don't watch anything. I'm just either filming or I'm filming, it seems. And so for me to go back into the beginning of Norman Reedus and Lincoln and all those early days of The Walking Dead, and then see the first season of Dead City and see Jeffrey's work and Lauren's work, which is brilliant. It was fun. It was fun for me.
What can audience and viewers relate to your character Bruegel when watching season 2?
Probably nothing. Probably not a damn thing, except I look really good. Got a lot of dirt. Got a lot of dirt and grunge and smug on me. I got high collars like 17th century Paris, and I've got Hugo Boss that's all stained and dirty. I've got a cane and watches and all kinds of ties that are... He's still got style. He's got style. Bruegel has style. But no, nothing. He's a CEO of a massive hedge fund company, and he's probably a billionaire, and he's been a conniving bastard his whole life. But he's got a sense of humor, and he will win in the end. I think that's what he really believes.
You've played a lot of tough guys throughout your career. What's the toughest thing about you?
You really want to know?
I do. I think they want to know too.
You really want to know? No. I'm a pussycat, really. I mean, I really am. I'll protect anybody that needs protecting. I'll don't f with me, but no, I'm not a fighter unless I have to be. I used to be, not anymore.
You used to scrap a little?
Hockey all the time. That's where all the scars come from. I was a defenseman, pretty tough. I could skate pretty. I didn't have that burn, that extra step that you need when you're 12, 13, 14, that you know you have a shot at maybe making the NHL. When you're from Saskatchewan, everyone comes out of their mama You get a little hockey stick, the boys did. Now the girls and boys do, which is great. But no, hockey is everything for me. Love it.
Most people know you for your on-screen characters. What's something that people would be kind of shocked to know about you?
You know, I like solitude.
Okay.
The older I get and the more pressed, like you guys, which has been amazing. We've been all over New York today and TV and Mets game coming up. I mean, this press is exciting and it's an important for the fans to, but I love solitude, man. I love my motorhome. I love my cabin. I love to get away. I love a glass of red wine, smoke a little pot, do a little fishing. Play a little golf maybe with my buddies. Listen to the stream beside, swimming in my lake, the big beautiful lake I've had in British Columbia that we have a little cabin on. I mean, you know, that kind of stuff. Nature. I think nature.
Nature.
Let's just go with nature.
Nature. Kim Coates, thank you so much for going off script.
Thanks for having me.